Hi everyone, and welcome to my Professional Learning Network website. My name is Courtney Souders. Right here we just have my home page, and then we scroll down and I just put a little bit about me. It tells you a little bit about where I work, a little bit about my education, and just some extra things that I like to do. At the bottom there's a contact page. If you have any questions or a recommendation for my site, in here just put your first, last name, email, and then add a comment. And if you'd like to get in touch with me using social media, you can use any of these sites. All of these go to my personal pages. So there's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, email, Pinterest, and YouTube. So I'll just click on one to show an example. So this is my professional Twitter account, and we'll see more of that a little bit later. All right, the second page is all about PLNs. I give an overview of a PLN. I say a professional learning network is a group of connections where teachers or other professionals share and learn from one another. PLNs allow educators to become globally connected learners to collaborate online at any time using a variety of tools. Professional learning networks allow educators to advance their learning on their own time. And anytime it has an underline and the color looks a little bit gray, you can click there and it will bring you to a link that I have. So this link goes to a page about how to become a connected educator. I also talk about how professional learning networks can happen anywhere at any time, and I give a list of all these different examples. For example, Ed Camps, there's a link to that, which is a free participant-driven unconference. And I have a link to EduMatch, another link to another site on globally connected educators, YouTube blogs, and actually this goes to one of my favorite blogs, which is the Cool Cat Teacher, who also has a Twitter that I follow as well. Anyway, moving down, I include an infographic that is by Sylvia Duckworth, who is a big person when it comes to infographics and talking about personal and professional learning networks. But these are the top 10 reasons why every teacher should have a PLN. For example, finding great resources, lesson plans, sharing your resources and ideas. You never run out of ideas. You learn the latest trends, flattening your classroom walls, etc. When you scroll down, you'll find videos of different things about professional learning networks. This one I really liked. It was a TED Talk. I love TED Talks. I listen to them all the time. But it's how learning networks can basically reconfigure schools and transform the way that we teach. And this one is just kind of an overview of professional learning networks and a little bit about how to get started. And the bottom, I just listed a brief overview of who's in your professional learning network, a little wordle about different things that could be in your professional learning network, and then how to grow a PLN, which again is by Sylvia Duckworth, or she had a part in this infographic. And I like it because it kind of compares it to growing a plant, but you're growing your professional learning network. The next page is all about social media. In my personal opinion, I think social media is one of the greatest ways to grow your professional learning network. So I say that here. But I go down and it just gives an overview about why you should use social media. For example, social media helps you find and share resources, stay informed on new trends, embracing new ideas, communicate with parents and school community. I use it all the time to communicate with my school community. Another infographic by Sylvia Duckworth is all about how social media can change your classroom. Again, connecting with families, globalizing your classroom, easy access to in-the-moment materials. And then you scroll down and it just gets you started with social media. So I linked 5 different types of social media Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. On each one, there is what it is. So, for example, Twitter is an online news and social networking service where users post and interact with messages limited to 140 characters. On the right is a Tech Boomers tutorial on how to get started. I included my own directions on the side. It's just a brief overview. I think the video goes into more in depth about it, but you can use either one. And I also include links on top 15 educators to follow on Twitter. And I thought this was a good article about how teachers who use Twitter really have reshaped their classroom. So, for example, you can click on this and it'll take you to some of the top 15 educators to follow on Twitter. And it's loading. Oh. So here's top 15 educators to follow on Twitter. And I follow him, and I follow a couple other of these, and they're really great resources. I then go down and continue with Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. And then again, there's some articles underneath of it. So 37 ways teachers use Pinterest in the classroom, how LinkedIn works for educators. LinkedIn can be used for any professional, but this is an article specifically how it could be used for teachers. 5 ways teachers use Instagram in the classroom. And just a lot of really resourceful articles to use. On the next page is finding PLNs. So scroll down. What's next? How do you create a plan? Here is a YouTube video about how to build your professional learning network, and I thought it gave a good overview of how your PLN starts and how it over the time it grows. And then over here it kind of gives you, I watched the video and then put in some really important information that I got from the video. So for example, it says in order to have a successful professional learning network, students must learn and contribute to it. Teachers should ask themselves, what can I offer and what do you want to learn? Because I think the best professional learning networks are where you're both gathering information and inputting information. It says some connections happen in person and others happen online. Professional learning is a collection of different groups that bring you together. So first I start with PLNs within your schools. So I said PLNs do not have to happen solely online. In fact, PLNs start with sitting down with a colleague to discuss ideas and resources. Educators are constantly around other professionals who want to learn just like you. So in your school, you might have your grade level team, specialists, administrators, special educators, committee teammates, speech and language pathologists, or occupational therapists, guidance counselors, etc. And these are some ways that my teammates and I connect with each other. We use Google Docs. We stay connected through different social media platforms, email, obviously. When there's a snow day or something, we meet on Zoom or another meeting, online meeting platform. And then my school actually has their own Twitter page, and my county I work for has their own Twitter page. Outside of school, there's a lot of other things you can do to stay connected. I like to participate in Twitter chats. Participate is a website you can go to help you get started with Twitter chats. I think sometimes it can be difficult to find them without using a website like this. So, for example, Participate helps you see what times there are Twitter chats happening, and it gives you a brief overview about what they are. You can attend an ed camp. Again, there's a link to that. Join different social media pages. This social media link actually just goes to this tab on my website. Following favorite bloggers. So here is a link to best education blogs to use. Educational podcasts are really helpful. And then I know that all of this can be a little bit hard to manage. It's a lot of information. These are 2 sites that help you manage bookmarks and find what you're looking for easily. So Pocket is an app that lets you save articles, images, and anything else for later and lets you view them when you're ready. I also like it because you can put tags on it and organize your bookmarks so they're easy to find when you want to read them. Then my next page is my PLN. So scrolling down, it just gives you an idea of what my PLN currently looks like. And I said, here are some ways I have developed my PLN. Below is a mind map I created to show my PLN at the beginning of my class, and it's still growing. Actually, this picture, for some reason, shrunk on this page, but if you go to the website, it's actually a lot larger. The PLN at my school, here's actually a picture of some of my colleagues. And I said I meet with my team members, communicate with other staff through email or phone. We actually have a Sunday Sizzler that comes out every Sunday to help keep the staff informed about what's going on in the school. We use Google all the time. I have to attend professional learning meetings with specialists. I connect with various social media platforms. I have my own social media, and I connect that to my school's Twitter account and the county's Twitter account. I have joined committee meetings, and we just have gatherings. I think sometimes your PLNs can be people too that you just vent to and rely on to give you advice about things. And so sometimes that happens outside of school too, even with your own colleagues. Like we just go to paint nights and things like that to learn about each other. I also have a PLN outside of school. I have a lot of favorite vloggers that I look at often. Some of my favorite Twitter accounts. Like I said, I had that cool cat teacher. The Justin Chart one was one of the top 15 ones to follow, and then some other ones that I like. And then these are just resources that I use often when I kind of running out of ideas for lesson plans and I want to easily just come up with a really great lesson. I can use Teachers Pay Teachers or Pinterest. And I also, like I said, I really like Twitter chats. My PLN group has a hashtag that we share resources with. This is a stream of my group's hashtag and the resources that we share with one another. We've also hosted our own Twitter chat that was on introducing digital literacy in the classroom. We use the hashtag intro to DLC. And here I just have a gallery of some of the pictures that I took from it. And you can see all of our questions we created with Canva to make them just more interesting to look at. Here are all the questions that we use, but like I said, all the questions we use to make them stand out, we use with Canva, and then we just tweeted using regular tweets, and we would reply to one another and make sure that everyone who was participating in the Twitter chat felt included. So that's how we created, that's my PLN, and that's pretty much the end of my PLN network page. But if you had any more questions, please feel free to use this contact button or follow me on any of these social medias. Thanks for watching.